Hula begins with our natural world. Hula is the abstract form of water cycles, volcanic cycles, energy transfer, and reproduction. The responsibility of a hula dancer is reciprocation to these natural processes in the form of dance and adornment. This reciprocation is done through the ceremony. For a hula dancer at the appropriate skill level, the ceremony is bounded by time, location, and specific actions, including audible actions, which create a space outside of the mundane for recognition and connection of and to the natural world. For this simple reason, preparation, consultation, and organization for a hula dancer is imperative. When considering participating or leading ceremonies, the following are important considerations. Tradition. Tradition is imperative. To conduct a ceremony, one must come from either a lineage of practice or a blood-connected lineage, because lineage is the library of ceremonial resources, and lineage is the aha, or the connection, that reaches back generations. There are certain components that lineages have in common due to necessity and relevance. Water, for example, has remained a required element for ceremony. This representation can be in the form of ava ceremony or cleansing. Another ceremonial tradition that has a high probability of commonality amongst lineages is an audible presentation of prayer or pule. The intentions must be audible, much like wind through the trees, ulili skimming over the coasts, or awai bubbling through waterways. Mele is the sound that man imbues to audible the intention. Relevance. Yes, tradition is imperative, but attitude, outlook, and environment change as time goes on. Therefore, ceremony requirements must reflect the time. Hula dancers, as tradition keepers, know the necessity of innovation to experience the relevance of our practice. We must continually ask the question, how does this ceremony reflect today's world? Or, how should this ceremony exist in the present? Therefore, we continuously strive to keep the elements of tradition and lineage, but live in the present. Deference. For the purpose of meditation in the ceremony, this description particularly will hold deference to Kapō'ula Kina'u. In the physically demanding art such as hula, there is a point during the endurance of dance that deference occurs. This submission is Kapō'ula Kina'u. What does this feel like? Athletes call it hitting the wall or being in the zone. Humans eventually and rightfully yield to the physical world, and the hula olapa especially realize this. Repetition. Repetition is practice, and practice initiates and creates muscle memory. Repetition in hula is necessary. In hula ceremony, it provides foundation and then growth. Foundational understanding is formed in the beginning stages of learning. Growth comes through repetitive performances of the ceremony. Perfection and endurance occurs when muscle memory is established. Only at this time can we deem the dancer a representative of the forest. Preparation. From the time of our kupuna, significant ceremony demands prep time to appropriately complete ceremonial elements. Materials need to be gathered, mele need to be reviewed and learned, sequencing has to be confirmed. These preparatory tasks are necessary for perfection. Perfection in ceremony is the ultimate goal. Adherence to nature, ho'okupu and kuahu. Last but not least, as mentioned previously, hula is the abstract representation of nature. The purpose of ceremony to a hula dancer is reciprocation to the natural world. Therefore, the hula dancer's role in a ceremony is the ho'okupu, or the offering itself, which is a combination of the dancer, a mele, to audible the intention, and a lei as a representation of the forest. Also crucial to the ceremony is the focal point in which the prayer and focus are delivered. This focal point is the kuahu. Ku, to ascend or rise up, and ahu, a structure of storage and collection. This edifice of the kuahu is the representation of elevation of hula dancers through combined knowledge of mele, hula, ceremony, family, and practice experienced in the halau. This is a ceremony, and as mentioned before, this is the hula dancer. These components of ceremony also describe the components of a hula dancer. A dancer needs to come from a lineage of hula. A dancer needs to be relevant, which means a viable physical hula specimen able to deliver perfection to their kumu. A dancer is the forest through repetition and achieving muscle memory. And lastly, a dancer is the ho'okupu, as they hold their ceremonies in the presence of their kuahu and hence their natural world.